So when working with Microsoft Power Pivot, one of the most important concept that you need to understand is the fact table and the dimension table. These are like the building blocks of Power Pivot. So if you don't understand this, that entire model becomes a problem. So imagine that you are a retail or you're an e-commerce store owner, retail owner, or any shop owner. So ideally, you're going to have two kinds of tables. One is your fact table, which contains numbers. There's going to be a lot of transactions that happen. There's going to be a lot of frequent changes to that data. So in this case, the sales table, because there's going to be a lot of data that is going to change frequently, and it is going to be a larger data set. So another way to look at it, what is a fact table? This is what happened to your data. You will see the sales amount, quantity, all of this keeps changing. Now, what changes every day? So it is the sale that changes every day. So that is why we look at it as a fact table. The other table is the dimension table. So usually the customers, product, stores, because if you see relatively your customers will not change that frequently, or your products is not going to change that frequently, or your stores are not going to change frequently. Yes, it would change. Maybe you might add, maybe 10, 20, 30 customers more, but then it is not going to be as frequent change to that data compared to your sales table. Even products, you might add maybe 100, 200 products, but then again, the changes are not going to be that frequent. So usually what happens, your dimension data is always going to be connected to one fact table, and that's the star schema that's there. So you will have the fact table in the center and everything kind of revolving around it, all your dimensions table revolving around it. So once you understand this concept, which is your fact table and what are your dimension table, and then build your schema or structure around that. Okay. Now let us look at the data that we have. Our tables, or these are our data that we have, and I have these in two different files. One is an Excel file, the other one are CSV files. We have the sales file, the stores calendar, customers, and products. So in this, which one is our fact table? The sales is our fact table, because here the data is going to change more frequently. Our products, customer, calendar, and stores are going to be our dimension ID. Let me just open each of these. So if I open the stores data, so if you see the sales data, sorry, we have about how much is that? We have about 10 lakh or 100,000 rows of data. Okay, and each of these contains, you will have the order ID, the product ID, store, customer ID, all of that. So you will see this does not contain the name of the customer. The traditional way, what would we do? We would write a VLOOKUP to get, or we will put a new column, customer name, customer gender, whatever. Let me also open the customer table just to understand what the customer table contains. Let me just enter that. So you will see what is the customer. We have the customer ID, we have the loyalty, we have the gender, we have the age, and when the customer joined. This does not contain the name of the customer. This is what we have. So if I want to get the gender of the customer, what would we do? We would either write a VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP formula to get that and put this inside this file. And now imagine what is going to happen. This file is going to become bigger, larger in terms of file size, and suddenly the file moves, all of that. You can only imagine the challenges that would be there when you have all of these formulas written, how slow it is going to be, etc. Right. So this is our data set, and like I mentioned, if you have not downloaded this, please go ahead and click the link in the description to download this file, and then we can practice along. So once again, there's a CSV file and an Excel file. We'll be working with CSV file because that's going to be smaller in terms of the size. You can see that here itself, right? You can see the size of the file. And imagine we add one more column there, you can imagine the size of this file. This is going to increase drastically. Okay. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.